Here's the 7th grade worksheet for lesson 10, and I'll be covering it. So the first part, Amanda bought a pen and an eraser. The price of the pen is $3.20, the eraser 90 cents. How much did Amanda pay? So here you just have to add the two prices together. When you add them, you should get that. So the answer is C. The temperature of the air in the afternoon is 2 degrees, and in the evening is -2 degrees Celsius. What is the temperature change? To find the temperature change, you do the final minus initial. So -2 would be the final, and 2 would be the initial. So do -2 minus 2. Since it's asking for the change, you do it in absolute value. So then you get -4 in absolute value, and then you just get 4. And so the answer is D. So for number 3, it's the same. This is the same problem for number 1. David is 1.8 meters tall. His hat is 30 centimeters high. How tall is David with the hat on his head? So if we look at the conversion, 1 centimeter equals to 0.01 meters. So you do we have to convert his hat, which is in cm to meters. So you do 30 cm times 0.01, which equals 0.3 meters. Now you can add them because they're in the same units. When you add them, you should get 2.15. So the answer is A. Now for number 4, it's the same thing as number 1. You just add the two together because it's saying the dog weighs 12.6 and the cat weighs 9.8, and they're in the same unit, so you don't have to convert. You just add them together because it's asking for how much do they weigh together. Here, Tyler bought a ruler and a compass. The ruler cost $3.40, and the compass was $1.80. How much more did Tyler pay for the ruler than the compass? So since it's asking for how much more, we do the price of the ruler, which is $3.40, minus the price of the compass, which is $1.80, and you should get, I think, 1.6 when you subtract them. So the answer is C. The temperature of the water in the afternoon was 26 degrees Celsius, and the evening 20 degrees. Now this problem is the same exact one as number 2. So you do final, which is evening, and then afternoon, which is initial. So 20 minus 26 in parentheses equals -6, not parentheses, in absolute value, and then it equals 6 because you have to change it from negative to positive. So the answer is C. Here you just plug in x for this value right here, so you get negative, put in parentheses like that. You just put in the number, and we know that a negative times a negative equals a positive, so it just becomes 0.75. Here we have absolute value, and since it's a negative and an absolute value, we know it's just going to change to positive, so it's 0.75 plus 0.25, and this should just equal 1. The rest for 3 to 7 you should be able to do on your own. You just plug in x for negative 0.75, so it's pretty doable. The temperature in your city at 6 a.m. was -8 degrees Fahrenheit and increased by 15 degrees Fahrenheit by noon. What was the temperature at noon? Don't forget to include units. So here it's asking for the temperature at noon. So we have, it starts at -8 degrees and it increased by 15 degrees. So you just add 15. And -8 plus 15 is the same thing as 15 minus 8. So this all equals 7 degrees Fahrenheit. The bottom level of the parking garage has an elevation of -45 degrees. -45 feet. The top level of the garage is 100 feet higher. What is the elevation of the top level? So the bottom level is -45 and the top level is 100 feet higher, so you add 100 feet. And this is the same thing as 100 minus 45 because it's -45 plus 100. This equals 55 feet. In optometry, the strength of an eyeglass lens is measured in diopters. I don't know how to pronounce it. Two lenses can be combined to create new lenses, and the sum of their strengths is the strength of the new lens. So for 3A, lens is -4.7, and it's combined with a lens of 6.25 to form a new lens. What is the strength? And we know that when you add the sum of them, that's the strength of the new lens. So you just have to add both numbers. So you do -4.7 plus 6.25. And if you add it correctly, you should get 1.5. And don't forget to write your units, which is this. Since to calculate this, you just have to add the two strengths together. A new lens is -2.5 and it's combined with -1.25 to form a new lens. What is the strength? You just do the same thing. You do -2.5, but notice how they're both negative, so you still have to, you just subtract, because it would look like this, -1.25, but you would just, after you write it out like that, it would just become like this, because a positive times a negative equals a negative still. And when you subtract it, you should get -3.75. So that's the answer. The greater absolute value of the strength lens of a lens is the stronger the lens. Which new lens is stronger in part A or B? So it says that the greater absolute value of the strength, the stronger the lens. So we have 1.5 and -3.75. We just have to take the absolute value of each one. Now this one doesn't change at all because it's a positive, so it's just 1.5. But this one does change because it's a negative, so it's 3.75. And since 3.75 is greater than 1.5, the answer is B. Thank you for watching.